The writer of Hebrews says that the Christian life is like running a marathon. It requires training, endurance, and discipline if we're not going to grow weary and lose heart. Hebrews chapter 12. Therefore, since we're surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely, and let us run the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God. There is a race marked out for you, and you are urged to run with endurance. Running your race, it's not going to be without its challenges. There are things that can trip you up along the way, so lay aside every weight and sin that clings so closely. This analogy is plain enough to understand. In the natural, people are ambitious to win, whether it be physically or intellectually. People thirsting for fame and honor, they have their thoughts turned away from the mundane to the goal before them. While this exhortation applies to every Christian, I think it's got special meaning for those of us who are ambitious. It tells us to forget goals that at the very best can bring only fleeting fame and spend our energies on achieving the same joy that was before Jesus. We who are engaged in the struggle, we need to ask, what sort of struggle are we engaged in? See, the struggle in and of itself is valuable, but behind the struggle stands that for which the struggle is happening. Each of us look at possibilities through our natural eyes, and we have our own idea of how we should be rewarded for the work we put in. But God also has an idea. He has a plan, and his purpose is that our whole person should win the victory. Not that the intellect should be victorious while the spiritual nature lies crushed and dishonored. Jesus had a joy set before him, and so do we. And even as the joy of this world's successes lie at the end of a long, toilsome struggle, so it must be in the joy of spiritual success. We put struggles before ourselves in order to satisfy ambition. God puts a struggle before us to comply with a sense of duty. We all have a choice to make when the work gets tough. Do we accept it or do we avoid it? We can't ignore it. We must lay aside anything that hinders our spiritual progress. And of course, the thing that hinders spiritual progress the most is sin. That sounds simple enough. It's not. See, while we're running this race of faith, we're going to encounter obstacles because we live in a world that does not want us to win our spiritual race. And it will do all it can to knock us off the course God has marked out for us. But don't give up. Patiently run with hope. Push through the strain, the pain, and the sense of weariness with the knowledge that you will ultimately be victorious. In this world, the worst part of training and running and enduring struggle is too often we still lose. But every Christian that runs the spiritual marathon faithfully to the end wins. Lord, help me to endure to the end, looking to you as my perfect example. Amen. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow.